Jesus. Hello. Gratuitous apologies for not having uploaded in a few weeks. As usual, my health has gotten in the way. It's been very painful. I do not like when I cannot upload something. My goal is always to upload weekly, and when my illness gets in the way, it's very frustrating for me, and I do feel the need and the pressure to apologize for whenever I cannot do that. So, apologies. I do have something I want to talk about today that it kind of goes in theme with the fact that I've been too sick to really create content for the past few weeks, and that is transparency on positivity while being chronically ill. I had this pretty jarring nightmare a few weeks ago. One of the nights that I was in terrible pain. I had subluxed my pelvic, and I couldn't even bear to put any weight on my legs, so I had to just stay in bed literally all day. And if I wanted to go to the bathroom, I had to torture myself physically just to get down the hallway. It was a mess. Whatever. Point being, my dream, right? In that nightmare / dream, I was in this castle that was extremely inaccessible. There was a grand staircase, and everyone, it was this party or something, an event with lots of people. And I made a remark that the space was inaccessible, that I could not climb the staircase. And I was met with a surrounding of people just echoing these invalidating statements to me, oh, well, you just haven't tried. How do you know if you haven't tried? Oh, you can definitely take those stairs. You just need to try harder. Come on, push yourself. Or oh, well, you look fine to me. You can definitely take those stairs. All these little pieces of gaslighting and dismissal. And I find that truly harmful because it denies me the accommodations and the tools that I need to survive. When people think of validation, they think about it typically as social. People don't typically think of validation as a necessity. People don't typically think of validation as something that is life or death, but validation oftentimes can be in that way, specifically when invalidation is gaslighting. And when people do that, I've talked about this a few times, and I just feel like I never express it eloquently enough, but it can feel like people want you to suffer. People want you to be excluded. People want you to die. They'd rather you just not exist because your existence is bothersome to them. Accommodating you, making things equal for you, is just too bothersome. It is the worst feeling because how invalidating to your existence is that? When people point the finger at you and they say, I don't care if you're here. I would rather you be gone because your existence is annoying to me. Your existence is a burden. When the truth of the matter is that equal access is just that, it's equal. And you have every right to take up the space that you take up. And they do it with a smile on their face, too. And I woke up from that dream crying. And my mom, she set me aside and was like, I hate to see what this illness is doing to you, that this illness makes you suffer so much. And I explained to her that dream, and I said, listen to what's happening in this dream. It's not my illness that upset me, it's people that upset me. It's lack of access that upset me. It's gaslighting that upsets me. It's not my body. My body is fragile. My body is sick. And I accept that. And I love my body just as it is. Like, and I'm going to love my body till I die. I love my body and I accept my body through everything that it experiences. What is upsetting is the inequality that I face because of the body that I live in. That's what's upsetting to me. Segue to the fact that I'm met with accusations or comments that imply that I must enjoy my time, being able to be in bed all the time, and to that, I typically defensively reply that if you knew anything about me, you would know that being in bed all the time does not make me happy. Being in pain, being fatigued, feeling like I'm missing out on the world outside and seeing my friends and having a job. Before my first surgery, even though I was using a cane because I was in so much pain, I was caring for my sister in the mornings from around 5 p.m. to midnight, working at a gastropub, surrounded by co-workers who I called friends. From midnight to maybe 6 a.m., I'd be driving for Uber, then sleep until like 9 or 10 a.m., and then do it all over again. Even in high school, I did school, tutoring, extracurriculars, rehearsals, volunteering. I love doing stuff. In bed, I don't feel like I'm doing stuff. Sure, I read a lot when I can. I feel more productive doing that. And there's such a weird pressure to feel productive as well. I don't know if it's because of the limited time that I have to be focused, thanks to momentary limited pain, or if it's internalized ableism, but sometimes I just wish I could let myself really rest for a really long time and just sleep and marathon Netflix content and just not be productive at all, because that's what my body feels capable of doing when I'm that sick. Just no pressure, no production. Like, I wish I could allow myself to just do that. But the defense of not enjoying being sick is not so black and white either. Because while I often get this sucky feeling of missing out, but more so being in pain is terrible, insufferable, I don't like it. It is also still in my nature to have gratitude. If you don't have that in my situation, then you're just likely to absolutely be miserable 24/7 for the rest of your life. And that's not how I plan to live my life. When I'm in a moment of limited pain, meaning I'm finding some type of pain relief, because of, I might be using a heating pad or an ice bag, a body brace, just laying down instead of sitting. I look outside of myself and I'm grateful to be in bed. I'm grateful for my safety, the roof over my head, my family being around, my cozy comforter. I take that moment to feel okay with my circumstance. So it's not as simple as I hate everything. being sick sucks, but I definitely find time to self-care through that. I find time to sleep, to watch scary movies, to laugh. It can feel, and I attribute this to our capitalist, ableist system, that I am not of value if I do not appear strong, if I do not appear grateful, confident, and happy. Where's the space for balance? Why can I not be equally as valued for the reality of my life, for when I am strong and when I am suffering? I want to be as transparent as I can about being sick. It's an adjustment. It's hard. It's so emotionally and psychologically taxing to adjust to progressively losing abilities. It's hard being unable to communicate pain in a way that allows empathy or conveys my needs and how one can be of help. It's hard when so many people do not understand and do not want to listen, and they make me feel trapped more than my illness does. I hope I expressed that all really well. I just want to be clear that it's not all black and white. I don't want to present myself as someone who is 100% happy all the time and loves being sick, which I got the accusation of doing, or that I don't want to get better or whatever. Like, it's so weird. And I feel like these judgments come from people who are not sick either, so there's no way that they can even begin to comprehend what the experience is of being sick, of being chronically ill, and of experiencing the limitations on your body, the disruptions that illness can cause in your life, and progressively losing abilities, and not knowing if it's going to plateau or you should be emotionally preparing yourself to lose even more abilities. Like, if you've never experienced that, there's no way you can comprehend what it is psychologically to be going through that and trying to adjust through that. That's it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else there is left to say, other than it's a balance. It's not black and white. It's not, I love being sick, I'm so happy being sick, and it's not, I hate my life, I want to die. It's what? It can't be one or the other. Why are people so obsessed with binary and extremities? It's a balance. It changes. It's fluid. God, please understand this. Okay. So let's just leave it at that. I want to leave this video focused on that topic, and I'll make another, like, update video later. I'll probably leave that for, like, an October favorites video. Alrighty. Thank you all for listening to me for this however long period of time. I really appreciate it. And I'll be happy to hear your thoughts on the matter. And I'll see you all eventually.